Hey guys. All right, so I am trying a new platform to record videos. So hopefully it won't take me 4 tries. This is my second try. So I recorded the first whole video and then realized when I played it back to make sure the audio worked, it was just a high-pitched screeching sound. Which isn't much different from my voice, right? No, so it didn't work. So I took my AirPods out and hopefully that was the problem. So we'll see how this goes. All right, so you have to bear with me because while I'm writing, when I turn my document camera on, it looks backwards on my computer. So when I'm writing, I always check to make sure that it's in frame and you can see, and then I adjust from there. So I just have to remember that it's backwards. So just bear with me through that. All right, so you need your notebook, your workbook, pens, or something to write with. Yeah, and that's it. So today, as I had said in the intro, we are wrapping up the volume unit. So we're going to end with the volume of a sphere. So the volume of a sphere is different than a cylinder and a cone. And you'll see that as we go through the lesson. So as we're going through, if it makes sense, like I said in the intro video, you don't have to watch the whole thing because I'm sure it's going to be over 20 minutes long, and just try a couple of the examples. Or try one example on your own, check to see if you got it right, and if you did, great, move on to the practice. Alrighty? All right, so I'm going to turn on my document camera, and here we go. So if you could please update your table of contents to volume of a sphere, and this will take place on my page 47. It might take 2 pages, but it might not. So once you've done that, if you could please turn to your page 47 and let's title it Volume of a Sphere. Here we go. Okay. So volume of a sphere. And that's page 47. Okay. So the first thing that we need to remember is, or the first thing that we need is the formula. So the formula to find the volume of a sphere is volume is equal to 4/3 times pi times your radius cubed. Okay, so what that means is you can think of it, so it's the same thing if you think of it this way. Volume is equal to 4 times pi times your radius cubed divided by 3. So one thing I do want to point out is that the radius cubed, that's different than obviously the radius being squared. So the radius cubed means you take that radius and you multiply it by itself 3 times. You do not multiply 3 by r. That is not what it means. Don't do this. Okay? It's radius times radius times radius. That's where a lot of students make mistakes. And a lot of students also make mistakes because they forget to divide by 3 at the end. Okay? So those are the two biggest mistakes that are commonly made here. So let's do example 1. And we're going to approximate the volume of the sphere. So, as usual, I do not claim to be an artist, and I've said many, many, many times that I would fail Mr. Keefe's and Mrs. Kamara's art class, and there we go, right? So a sphere is anything that is three-dimensional and circular. So any type of basketball, soccer ball, baseball, softball, tennis ball, golf ball, right? The earth, that's a sphere. So anything like that is a sphere. So we have this sphere, and we are told that this length here is 15 feet. Okay, so we want to approximate the volume. So that's like saying the volume is about, right? So it's an approximation. It's not an exact answer. So that word approximate tells us to use 3.14 for pi. Okay, hopefully this is not out of focus. Let me try focusing my camera. Hopefully that's better. All right, so let's copy down the formula. So we have volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. And if you think about it, right, there's no real height for a sphere because that would be another radius, right? The height would be another radius. So if you think about it, it's like radius squared times the height, but the height is also another radius, which is why it's radius cubed. So I don't know which way helps you remember it best or to understand, but whatever way works for you. So for pi, we're going to use 3.14. And our radius, so remember the radius goes from the center of the circle out to the edge, and that is what is shown here. So our radius is 15. So now I can substitute. And I like to think of it as 4 times pi, which is 3.14, times radius, which is 15 cubed, and then divided by 3. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to take care of the radius cubed. So in your calculator, you want to do 15 times 15 times 15, which is 3,375. If you have a calculator like this and you see the caret right here, what that does is if you do 15 and then you hit the caret, see how it pulls this little box up like an exponent there? I don't know if the glare is in the way. So then you just type in the exponent, which is 3, and hit enter, and that's how you can do that on your calculator. Okay, so our volume is equal to 4 times 3.14 times 3,375 divided by 3. Okay, so I have my 3,375 times 3.14 times 4 divided by 3. So I have a total volume of 14,130. So my volume is equal to 14,130 feet cubed. So that's how you find the volume of a sphere. Okay? So let's try example 2. So again, we will approximate the volume for the sphere. I mean, that one doesn't look tragic, right? That looks more like a sphere, maybe. And then you're given that this is 6 meters. So let's remember the formula for the volume of a sphere. So we have that volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. And the directions tell us that we are approximating the volume. So that means for pi, I'm going to use 3.14. Okay, so now I need my radius. So please look carefully, right? So this line goes all the way across through the center of the sphere. So this is the diameter, right? So the length of the diameter is 6. So therefore, I need half of that for my radius. So my radius is actually 3. Okay, so this is another big area where people make mistakes. They don't check to see if it's the diameter or the radius. All right, so now let's substitute what we know. So 4 times 3.14 times my radius, which is 3 cubed, divided by 3. So I'm going to take care of that radius first. So 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, so I have 4 times 3.14 times 27. And that's divided by 3. Okay, so 4 times 3.14 times 27 divided by 3, I get 113.04. So volume is equal to 113.04. And my units were meters cubed. Okay. So the next 2 examples are going to be using pi as pi. So it'll say, like, leave your answer in terms of pi. Okay. Or it might ask you for the exact volume. So if it asks you for the exact volume, that tells you to leave your answer in terms of pi. So example 3, let's find the exact volume of the sphere. Okay, I mean, it's not as good as the other one, but it's not tragic. So this is 9 centimeters. Okay. So let's remember the formula. Volume is equal to 4/3 times pi times your radius cubed. So we want the exact volume. So that means I'm going to just use the pi symbol for pi. I am not going to use 3.14. So that means I do all the other math first, and then I tack on pi at the end. All right, so pi is pi, and my radius is going to be 9, right? Because it's from the center to the outer edge. So let's substitute and find the volume. So volume is equal to 4 times pi, and remember, I'm just going to leave that like that, and then times 9 cubed divided by 3. So 9 cubed, remember, is 9 times 9 times 9, or 9 caret 3. So I have 729. So volume is equal to 4. I'm just going to tack the pi symbol at the end. So 4 times 729 times pi divided by 3. So all I have to do is multiply 729 by 3. By 4. So multiply 729 by 4 and then divide it by 3. And I get 972. So volume is equal to 972 pi. I need to bring that down here. And then I have centimeters cubed. So that is how you find the exact volume of the sphere. Okay? So let's do one more example. So example 4. We're going to find the volume and leave your answer in terms of pi. Okay? So here is your sphere. And you are given that this is 15 inches. Okay, so let's remember the formula. Volume is equal to 4/3 times pi times your radius cubed. So we want to leave our answer in terms of pi. So remember, that means pi is equal to pi. And now we need our radius. The radius here is not 15, right? Because that shows you the diameter. So you want half of that diameter. So half of 15 is 7.5. Okay? So our volume is equal to 4 times pi times 7.5 cubed divided by 3. So now I want to do 7.5 cubed, and we have 421.875. So if we round that to the nearest tenth, we would have 4 times, and I'm going to round that to 421.875. 21.9, and then pi, and then I'm going to divide by 3. Okay, so I take that answer, 421.9 times 4 divided by 3. So I get an answer of 562.53 pi inches cubed. And that is the volume for that sphere. All right, so that is all that we have for today. So if you don't understand something or you have a question, just jump onto the math chat and ask me for help, email me, or set up a time for us to video conference with each other or a small group, and I can help you. So you're going to try your practice problems, check your answers, and then complete the Edulastic. And hopefully I will see you all very soon. Bye.